Okay, the red light's on. We're waiting for the green light as always. That means we can begin. Get this shoe on the road. And bye. Takes longer sometimes, but that's okay. I'm just waiting for it. If you can hear me, this is Max, and it's not coming through. Oh, it did. Okay, we're live. Took a while for it to come through. I'm sorry about that. I'm Max. This is Max Rants. And let's get right down to the story because this one's really interesting. You can remember over the past few months, President Donald Trump has been talking about America absorbing Greenland, owning Greenland. It's interesting, by the way, that Greenland is full of ice and Iceland is full of green. Don't know how they got mixed up, but let's get down to the brass tacks. Greenland is the largest island in the world. It goes all the way through to the Arctic cap. Well, President Trump wants it. And the United States does have vested commercial and military interests in securing Greenland and the passages, the many passages through the Arctic ice that have now opened up. The world is undergoing a cyclical warming effect. Every X number of decades, we go through a warming thing, and the ice caps separate and give us ways of passage. And then after maybe 100 years, they close up again. Well, they're just opening up. We can make a lot of money. Do you know, just passing through the Arctic ice, China can get to the Atlantic Ocean in less than half the time? Well, now I don't mean that America is going to invade Greenland, because they're not. But America needs that ice-encrusted land. We got to have it. This rite of passage isn't just for commercial or passenger ships. It's for military vessels. China right now has what's called a brown water navy, meaning they're not really great at getting all over the world with their ships. But as they build more carriers and more attack vessels, and if they can get access to these northwest passages through the ice, they can become a threat to us, a threat to Europe. You understand? We're not talking about force, but by the same token, we have not ruled it out. Vice President J.D. Vance made it clear. He said the U.S. is not going to invade the island, but that there are alternatives. Let's go back about 53 years to 1972. That's a long time ago for some of you, before you were born. But in 1972, Denmark pretty much cut the purse strings with Greenland. She said, you're costing too much money. We don't want to spend so much. So you're on your own for the most part. And if you want to be your own country, go ahead, have an election, do what you like. They didn't give a damn about Greenland until the U.S. said, gee, we'd like to take it. Now all of a sudden, they're whining, it's ours, whatever. Greenland has been empowered by Denmark to vote, to have an election, whether or not to become an independent nation. They've had a few of those elections, by the way. And in those elections, Greenlanders overwhelmingly say, no, we don't want to be our own country. Or they can vote to join the United States as a territory, like Puerto Rico, like the Virgin Islands, U.S. Virgin Islands. But they don't seem to want that either. Most Greenlanders are unhappy with Denmark's hands-off treatment, treating them more like an outpost than like a territory, because they're not a territory, they're an outpost. Many Greenlanders aren't even Danish citizens. Most Greenlanders also oppose joining the United States. Okay, they don't want to stay with Denmark. They don't want to go with the U.S. They don't want to be an independent country. Hello? Confusion. Make up your damn minds, people. Greenlanders, they're in a quandary. They don't know which way to go because they have no leadership. It's insane, people. Make up your damn minds. Now, the U.S. already has a missile base, a radar monitoring station in Greenland, and it's part of the Distant Early Warning System, the DEW line. We look at the skies, making sure Russia's not attacking us. We have missiles we can fire back at them. It's been an important American asset for a long time. But Greenland is Greenland. Keep that in mind. Control of Greenland means control of those critical waterways, these passages. China and Russia have already been pressing, so they want to gain control of these shortcuts. They want to be able to have total, unrestricted military and commercial passage all the way through these passages in the polar cap. The commercial and military importance of this location cannot possibly be understated. Politically, militarily, economically. From the outside looking in, Greenland needs to hold an election. No matter what, they got to hold a damned election, okay? They got to decide whether they'll become an independent nation or a U.S. territory. Clearly, being a Dutch outpost, come on, being a Danish outpost is unsatisfactory. They're being treated like shit by the people in Denmark. So the only real choices they have are to stand up, buck up, be your own country, make some deals with the U.S. as your own country, or become a U.S. territory. Because clearly Denmark isn't doing a damn thing to help the Greenlanders. They're treated, like I say, like a distant outpost. Look at Puerto Rico, Guam, the Northern Mariana Islands, the U.S. Virgin Islands. These are all territories of the U.S. They've done very well by coming under the wing, the protection of the United States. So why not the same thing for Greenland? Why not? Remember this in closing. Greenlanders, you are not Danish citizens. Just ask the people in Copenhagen.